Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. Today we are going to be having a look around Carillion for the Rat Brigade. I believe at the end of the last episode we were told to go to the Checkerboard Gardens, so let's see if we can find a way to get there. I guess I can't just travel around, huh? No. Let's try to explore. Before you take the first step towards one of the terraces, a devil blocks your way. Not yet, I'm afraid. You must have permission from the presiding deviless. Some of our procedures are exceedingly delicate. We need to be certain you comprehend what you're seeing. He turns you in the direction of the center of Carillion. I'm sure she'll make time to see you. Okay. Well, let's go speak to the presiding deviless. She is an artisan of souls. Perhaps she can do something with yours. Perhaps she'll just offer you advice. The presiding deviless works in an office shaped like a beehive. A stone and wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillion's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients one by one. After a long time in line, you reach her at last. Greetings, Professor. How may we stretch, strain, purify, and strengthen you, now you've come to Carillion? I need a selection of immaculate souls, huh? I guess that lets me bypass the penance? Her apron is starched, her dress pinstriped. There is a stack of patient files on her desk, color-coded. The corners of her mouth say she knows something to your disadvantage. Well, let's ask her about Carillion. You must be used to explaining to newcomers and to those whose memories are attenuated by pain. We do whatever is necessary to reclaim unsatisfactory souls, she says. She sits back in her chair, and you can imagine her being just such a pitch to the princes of hell. For humans, primarily, though, we do attend to a few other creatures elsewhere on the Great Chain. They come to us with souls that are stained, disused, in every kind of sordid condition, and we make them acceptable again. Most of those who come to us are volunteers. The rest are beyond the position of being able to volunteer, consigned to Carillion by their families or employers. And after a stay at Carillion? What then? One should not enter if one does not know how to leave. Most people go home again, she says. Some find that they are weary of other souls and pass them on to us. We operate on that slender profit, and on what we can get from donations, or from sales of penance and forgiveness. She looks at the blank page before her. But what about you? You look sturdy enough to make full use of our services. Are you afraid of needles? What's your view on worms? Which do you fear more, venoms or poisons? She takes down a page or two on your least favourite things. Alright, well, let's listen to the proposal and gain access to the terraces of Carillion. She is prepared to offer you a deal. Listen, she says. You are free to make use of Carillion. Take a penance or two. Alter your soul. I think you'll find our services very imaginative. There is another matter I hope you will look into. A devil in rose-coloured gloves. He used to supervise the Glasslight Terrace. He was removed from that position, but I fear he may still not be entirely aligned with the objectives of Carillion. If you find out anything about him, anything to his disadvantage, he looks grim. Bring me the evidence, and I will reward you. Okay, well, I have done this before. Nice to know that guy's still kicking around, huh? Did I ever finish it? I may not have actually finished that quest, which is why it's still kicking around. Let's return to the center of Carillion. They don't sell Immaculate Souls here, I don't think. Oh, I can't just shortcut it. No, they sell a jumble of undistinguished souls. I feel like I may have some precious souls somewhere. But anyway, let's see if we can travel around Carillion. Carillion is broken into terraces, where most of the soul treatments take place. Can I go to the checkerboard garden? I can. Let's see if we can get in. It is reached by a flight of wrong-sized steps. The rises too steep, and the flats too narrow. Oh, good lord. That sounds like torture. By the time you come out onto the plane of the checkerboard, your calves are hurting. Right, can we do what we need to do here? There's nothing obvious for us to help the rats here. The devils are playing tri-colour chess with some of the penitents. White pieces, red pieces, pieces of the colour of the flourishing wind. Around the edges of the board sit the patients who have already been captured, or who were never part of the game to begin with. Let's consider the rubbery man. Maybe this is what we're looking for. He stands at the edge of the board, ignored by the players. No one has dressed him for the chess game, or let him enter the board. Let's speak with him. He stands off to one side, tentacles squirming. He is surprised that you approach him. He moves to make room for you, in case you are merely trying to occupy his space. When you speak to him, he offers you a squishy handshake. By various signals, gestures, and directions of his eyes, he indicates that he has come here looking for his place in the world. I can ask him about the devil with the rose-coloured gloves, and then hope that I understand the answer. The rubbery man holds up one tentacle, representing the devil with the rose-coloured gloves. Then he holds up another tentacle. After a moment, he twists the two together. Are the tentacles meant to be kissing? Is that what this is? When you look blank, the rubbery man repeats the pantomime several times. Perhaps the devil has a lover. Perhaps the devil loves the rubbery man. Perhaps the devil enjoys exotic forms of dance. I can believe that. So we can get redemption for the rubbery man. I need shift in perspective 5, or I can elevate him if I'm enlightened. Let's leave him alone for now. Let's actually go out onto the board, I guess. Gain a penance of a shift of perspective. Those who name drop, who aim too high, who spend too much time in low company, who do not know their place, they wind up here. The Red Queen tried to hitch a ride in a royal carriage. For the penitent's own good, she has a locked tongue to prevent so much as speaking the name of a superior. The supervising devil is distracted by the play on the chessboard. As for your punishment, it does not bear speaking of. The experience leaves your throat parched. There's our shift in perspective. I need to get it to 5, don't I? If I want to help the rubbery man, and I'm thinking this is maybe where we help the rats? I'm actually kind of confused. I kind of expected something to come up relating to the rats, but we have an 84% chance to succeed here, so I'm just going to keep trying. The second time. A man, recently eliminated from the game, signed letters with an honorific reserved for non-mortal persons. Until he overcomes these flaws, he is being told glamorous stories of parties, but never invited to them. The supervising devil makes notes. Okay, nothing new again. Let's go for the third. The flourishing queen signed letters with an honorific reserved for non-mortal persons. The devils disapprove. To repair these defects, she has been stripped of garments and possessions and given an entirely new name. Everything in its proper place, says the supervising devil. We have 3. Right, let's go for the 4th. We're bound to fail at least one of these, right? The White Rook invited a princess to a drinking party. As punishment, she has a locked tongue to prevent so much as speaking the name of a superior. If I could just ask a few questions, says the supervising devil finally. How are you feeling about the great chain of existence? Positive, negative, or neutral? Finally? Nice. She's been stripped of her garments and possessions. The supervising devil turns over a page of his notebook and begins a new set of notes. Right, now we have our 5 penances, huh? I'll actually cure my soul because I am not curdled. Who saw that coming? Let's consider the robbery man. I don't have enlightenment. I don't know how to get there. Let's just do redemption. Conversation requires a change of understanding, an alteration of state, both sudden and permanent. You offer the penance. May the robbery use a human penance? Are such penances, well, compatible? The robbery man accepts it, takes it into an orifice, digests it. His eyes close, and they open again. They are your eyes, your eye colour, the same pattern in the iris you know from mirrors. He stares around as though seeing everything for the first time. Thank you, he says. Perhaps he has grown your tongue and teeth too. Then he places 2 damp objects in your hand and walks away towards the staircase. Well, it stands to reason that his original eyes had to go somewhere. I got 2 uncanny specimens. And we lost our shift in perspective. But I will note that there is nothing to do with the rats. Let's return to the centre of Carillion. The White Queen is captured just as you go. There is no time to look back at the match in progress. Is there a special option here for the rats? Nope. I guess we'll start at the Gaslight Terrace and see what we can do. Dozens of newcomers walk in that direction. Must be a safe choice. Your companions are a lady in a buttoned cloak and a young male student. They talk among themselves about the seasonable warmth and how the yellowish glow of the lamps not show blue silk to best effect. Their words are commonplace, their hands folded and gloved, their opinions supplied by a respectable gazette. You have almost forgotten them, even while you are still walking together. The path descends by shallow steps to a broad terrace, as crowned as an imperial exhibition. Gas-lit lampposts are scattered irregularly across a flagstone terrace. Between them are stations, each containing a patient receiving a treatment. The supervising devils tend these stations, stopping first here and then there, like bees at flowers. Well, our ability to gain enlightenment here is considerably lower than the last place we were. The spineless curate. He sits in stocks, attended on by a devilish orderly. The nearest station, a curate has been shackled into an ordinary pillory. Well, let's meet him. His eyes beseech you to visit him. I've seen something in this light. It's not hard to see things. A devilish orderly jabs the curate with a needle. At the sight of the jab, the curate's skin goes lavender. I'm being treated for not believing in God. I've tried everything. Prayer, fasting, long weekends with a professional saint. None of it worked. My sermons were suffering. My bishop complained. And has it helped? I have dreams of snakes and angels, he says. It hasn't made me a mystic. I don't think the devils are real either. Just men with funny eyes, aren't they? The devilish orderly smiles with extra teeth. I'm guessing this is more of the same? Oh no, we need a shift in perspective. Again. I also need enlightenment. Oh, I see. I have to go to multiple places to free these people. Do I get enlightenment here? I wonder what the benefit is for doing these prices over these. Must change something. There is one thing I want to quickly check. By having done the penance, can I just ask here? Damn it, I just needed the shift in perspective. Damn. Of course that's all I needed. Hang on. We're going back in. Quickly gain a shift in perspective. I think I only needed one. A man in kingly robes wore ermine without being entitled to do so. As a corrective, he suffers constant nightmares of having devolved into a lower creature such as a fluke. The supervising devil is distracted by the play on the chessboard. Wow, that's just mean. Let's return to the center of Carillion. And then go back here. Go to the foyer, speak to the presiding deviless. And here we go. Take the Rat Brigade back to the presiding deviless. You have been cleansed of Sarge's sin. The Rat Brigade looks almost contrite. The presiding deviless smiles at the unhappy expressions of the rats. Much better. She passes over a single piece of paper from the Sarge's file. It smells of incense and jasmine. Booker, Cinders explains. Sarge did like his luxuries. The writing is minuscule and brief. The vault is at the central office of Alderidge's bank. The account was opened in London in the year before the blockade of New Winchester. The Deviless is already working on a new file. You have, apparently, been dismissed. Oh. Hang on, can we talk to the rats now? Let's discover what the Rat Brigade are up to. They know the location of Sarge's vault. They don't seem to want to leave your locomotive. They need the numbers to the account. Where do you think they'll find them? The air is thick with the scent of jasmine. The rats have acquired a hookah pipe and are reminiscing over their lost Sarge. Albrecht twitches his immaculate whiskers. We need to find Vilma, our strategist, but it will be awkward. She was Cinder's paramour. There is a snort from somewhere in the nest. Albrecht continues. We lost touch with the others, but Vilna will know where they are. And when we open the vault, you will have a share, of course. The last I heard, Vilma was residing at Perdrance as a pet. Albrecht's expression speaks volumes. Need to go to Perdrance, you say? Ooh, I can ask Petronella to continue Sarge's tale. Albrecht is sunk in gloom, but she might take up the story. Petronella takes up the thread, frowning over her glasses. So we had a new boss, the lieutenant now. He wanted the admiration of command, but the Tacketies and the Stovies didn't trust us, 'cause we were mercs. Just rats, right? We did eventually get a lucrative contract from the Tacketies to sabotage the governor's engine to stop her fleeing New Winchester. Risky. Who else had the know-how to get it done, right? Her question is rhetorical. Her smile is proud. She pauses. Or some other time, I think. Okay. So we need to go to Perdrance. Where is Perdrance? Is that in Albion? It is. Yeah. So we will need to go back to London once again. I will go to Lustrum first. See if we can get some hours. Make some money maybe. And then from there I guess we'll go down to Port Prosper and we'll go to Albion because we don't have any other way. But I do think I'm going to end this episode here. Having done the Rat Brigade, I'm happy I worked that out and didn't just go through the whole of Carillion. I mean, at some point, I will go through the whole of Carillion. I mean, maybe I could do it next episode. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. But either way, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Your comments mean the world to me. And as always, I'll see you next time.